What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator with some footage from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. This is going to be part one of a two-part video, you guys, and today we're just going to give my initial raw thoughts and check out the footage for ourselves and tell you guys what I think as we go along the way. We're going to be talking about a few different features and a few different changes today, so stick around. If you are interested in acquiring any of my overkills tutorial guides for Microsoft Flight Simulator, or simply interested in supporting the channel, please consider joining us on Patreon. Patreon subscribers level tier 2 and above have access to all of my guides, as well as any future releases that come down the road. Patreon link can be found in the description below.
Overkill simulations, watch us as we fly.
All right, you guys, so first up, the first thing I'd like to do is give a big shout out once again to the VR Pilot. A link to his channel will be down in the description below. He provided me with a link to this footage. Jose, you're the man. Thank you very much. It's really awesome. Really excited to take a look at this. Second thing, you guys are catching this in the raw. This is my first time seeing this. As with you guys, we'll be pausing the videos as we go along. Like I said, there will be a couple of different features that we're going to be talking about. This is going to be a two-part video where we're going to break down some of the new footage that we have available and some of the details that we have available to us about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I already have some mixed feelings about it. I am definitely still excited for it, and I will be picking up the collector's package, but still have some hesitancy about certain things. I'm going to point those out as we go along the way from what I've seen in previous footage, because I know some of it is contained in what I've got here today. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. All right, and real quick, guys, as we get into this, there will be timestamps down below to each of these sections. If you want to check them out individually, feel free to jump ahead. Off we go. So first, we're taking a look at the clouds. This is one thing that I did see a big difference in already in some of the other footage that I've seen. You can see the volumetric and reflective lighting in the clouds has definitely changed. The dual layer and the stack of the clouds seems to be a bit different. The flatter sides underneath the ceiling layer, or the bottom of the ceiling layer, seems to be a bit different too. I always hate some of these live gameplay footage videos because I hate that they leave all of the features turned on. I get it, but it drives me crazy, like the points of interest, things like that. Looking over here and seeing the lighting changes and the way that they're different and the way it's reflecting also off of the aircraft is a big plus for me too. Now, this is very obviously a default aircraft, which is one of the scary points for me, as I'd like to see, and I guess that's hard to do, but it'd be nice to see some of the third-party aircraft, but I don't know if there's a way for them to do that, so that's not really a shot at them, just a wishful thinking. But already, take a look down at the mountains here. There's a big difference in the mountain ranges where they're labeled out. Again, major changes in the clouds. You can already tell right off the bat. You can see the difference in the lighting. You can see the depth in where you can see that the moisture is the thickest, where it sort of thins out. You can see the thinning layers up here in the more broken areas over here. Seems to be a lot more detail and generation of the clouds than what we see in 2020, and that's saying something, because I think the 2020 clouds are actually rather impressive. Here's an awesome sunset view again, checking out the lighting over here coming through and passing through, and as it dims out down as we fall away from it, another big difference. Looking down at the terrain again, I'm also really excited, but we're going to get a bigger detail of the terrain here in a minute. So it's nice to see the changes. The thing that bothered me the most about this particular footage when I saw on Jose's video is that it seemed to be the same footage repeated. So here we are from inside the cockpit. The lighting in the cockpit seems to be quite a bit different too. One of the things that I'm noticing already, though, if you notice, there isn't any variation in the way the game is flying or the way the aircraft is flying. No bouncing, no rocking. I hope that that's by design for this particular footage, because that's actually kind of concerning to me. You would think that you would see some sort of bouncing, some sort of rocking, some sort of oscillation or something, but I mean, maybe not. Guess it depends on the scenario. But we'll have to see what some of the other flight footage looks like, but we'll keep that in mind. The walk around feature, this actually looks pretty cool. Again, this is another one that has me a little bit more concerned. Let's talk about this for real quick. One of the things I want you guys to understand that what's happening right now as we're selecting our location is the scenery is already beginning to load. All of the scenery and surrounding area is caching as you're selecting your location. So as you're moving around the world map, you're pre-caching some of that data, which is going to be huge given the fact that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is going to require some pretty significant internet. That is one of the concerning parts for me. And then here we're loading directly in. That's why it's able to do that. So directly from the world map, there's no longer a loading screen. You just select your spot, caches in the zone, down you go. So that part's really cool. At the same token, like I said, my concerning part is for those, what about people who have a low-speed internet connection or a limited internet connection? What kind of experience are they going to get out of 2024? So that is pretty concerning. This walk-around feature looks really cool. And again, I'm going to jump back over to some of our favorite third-party aircraft. What is that going to do for them that don't already have that walk-around feature in it? I'm wondering how difficult it's going to be for them to incorporate that. I imagine that's going to absolutely fall on the developers of the aircraft in order to generate something like this and to take use of this walk-around feature. But I can see the walk-around feature also being a lot of fun for cinematic purposes. Again, I don't like all of the points of interest, even on the aircraft, having the little blue dots and things like that. I hope that is something that can be disabled. To me, that makes it feel more game versus simulator. I get why they're displaying that here. Again, I just hope that it's something that can be disabled. I wish that we had gotten some footage over the some of the options within inside the game menu of things that can be turned off, turned on, etc. You know, that would have been nice to know, because it would have given you a better understanding of how this can all operate per your desire. Because like I said, I would not want any of these blue dots. I don't like the points of interest beams. They're all again, they do make it feel like a game, and they really ruin the immersion for me personally. I like being able to just sort of, here's where the door handle is, here's where you would click, here's where the tires, that's where you would click, here's where the reds would go, that's where you would click. You know, and even if you're wrong sometimes, it just, for me, that's a better experience. So we'll see what happens. What are we on to next? The career menu. Let's check this out. And I can sort of pause this as we go here. So we got certifications. I'm going to pause here, see what we got. Commercial pilot, multi-engine rating, instrument rating. Interesting path here. So private pilot's license airplane. Would you go into commercial license before your instrument rating? I guess I don't understand quite how this all works. This seems, I mean, it seems really cool. And I like that you have to go in to get your certifications. I like that you have that option. Powered lift rating, turbine engine rating, hoist endorsement. Okay, so yes, so it looks like it's increasing in difficulty as you move forward. So someone who knows more than me, I'm only supposed to start my pilot's license training starting next month, actually. So I guess I haven't looked into, I'm going to have to do some research on when you would jump over to commercial rating. I feel like you would get your instrument rating before being able to go into commercial. But maybe I'm mistaken. I feel like that's a odd path. Because then you have airline transport. I don't know. We'd have to do some research. If you are a real-world pilot or you have a better understanding of that than I do, comment down below. I'd love to hear what the answer to that is. By the way, guys, make sure you guys join us on the Discord. A link to the Overkill Discord is down below as well. You know, we're always having different chats and things like that. There's always a bunch of different conversations going on in there. Anyway, so pretty cool. It's awesome that you can sort of set your path out. So we got down to turboprop. That would be my favorite. But again, so like this gets a little bit more interesting too. So coming down from commercial going into high performance, then the turboprop, which I guess actually could make sense because I mean you do have plenty of high performance aircraft that aren't turboprops. So I guess, all right, I can get behind that one. That one's all right. So let's keep playing here. So like actually backing up one more time. That's even a little bit more odd to me. Oh, I went too far. Damn it. That's all right. We just need to get back to the screen. Go back into the certification. Okay. That kind of trips me out too. So again, commercial pilot night currency before your instrument. Would an instrument rating be required for a night flight? And I could be completely full of crap. Obviously, at night, your visibility is going to be down. I get that there are still VFR conditions at night. You can still have VFR conditions. But I thought instrument rating... Well, actually, no, I guess that wouldn't be true. Well, yeah. I thought you had to be able to... I was under the impression you had to be able to be instrument rated in order to fly at night. Due to the possibility of such severe visibility restrictions. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, let's keep going. Let's go ahead and move that forward. Okay, so here we are in the... Let's let it go in here. All right, so now we're moving to the specializations. All right, so I want to take a look at these. Ferry flight, flight seeing, skydive aviation. All right, doing some skydive transforms. Basically, so you would fly up to altitude, circle your drop zone, and then come back down. Cargo light, aerial advertising, charter service. Okay, cool. Search and rescue. That'd be fun. What else we got? Aerial firefighting initial attack. I cannot wait. I think it'd be cool to be able to get your attack card in this. Firefighting is awesome. I saw a little bit of footage on it. We're gonna check that out in today's video as well. There's a link to that chapter down below if you guys are interested. We are gonna be checking out the firefighting aspect, but that one I'm super excited for. Medevac, that's gonna be for you rotor heads. Agriculture, aviation, so that's gonna be crop dusting. That's cool. And then obviously passenger transport, yeah, same old thing. You can simulate that as is. Aerial firefighting extended attack. All right, I want to read that. What is... damn it. There it is. Pause. Embrace the challenges of a burning forest and put your expertise to the test, facing raging inferno of mega fires. Is that like a mega pint? Sorry. Whether in the middle of steep mountains or countryside, make a difference by maneuvering nimbly through the columns and dense smoke to reach your critical areas and push your piloting skills to the limits. Okay, so doesn't really tell you what the difference between extended and initial attack. Guess we'll learn, won't we? Okay, so that's, again, we talked about that. That's crop dusting. What we got here? Aerial advertising. So this is an actual mission example. So again, also it looks like it's telling us what to do. And you guys have to forgive me. I do have the sound muted. At least I think I do. Do I? Oh, no, it's on a little bit, isn't it? So again, like I was going to say, I hope you can turn the gates off. Otherwise, again, it becomes too gamey. I will agree that I'm a little... There are parts of 2024 that are really exciting, and there are parts that are really concerning.
Close call, but you caught it. The towing area is waiting for you now. Now you've hooked the banner. We're clearing the zone.
The voices are something to be left desired, but that's okay. I get it. I mean, they have access to their own cloud, so it's like, why wouldn't you throw in the premium? But, all right, you guys own the damn thing. At least I hope that's not the premium voices. See, again, like, so the points of interest, the aerial advertising, all that stuff, or the aerial advertising, the gates, all that stuff is just, it's such an immersion breaker for me. I do wish they had done more shots inside the cockpit. They did a lot in the external shots, and I get that they're trying to express the scenery, and there's a major scenery difference. If you guys can check that, we'll be talking about that later. But look at the scenery down below. Significantly higher detail. Significantly higher detail. There we go. Thank you. So again, I'm a little concerned because watching the footage here, the movements that are happening in the plane, they looked more like it was coming from the stick and not the environment. All right, so here's our aerial firefighting.
For takeoff, runway 16 right, 487.
The camera movements seem a little bit better, but I guarantee, I won't say guarantee, but it looks like they're using an Xbox controller. Now, maybe these are just the training missions. Training missions I would get, having the gates and all the required aids on. Okay. Unless, of course, like I said, it would still be nice if you have the option to make that a bit more difficult. Back to the outside view, damn it. Get it. The scenery looks great. I want to see what it's like inside the aircraft. And obviously this is still pre-release, right? But again, if you look, watch the top of the glare shield, watch the window frames. There doesn't seem to be much change or behavioral change in the aircraft. Meaning no turbulence, no wind. He's not fighting anything. Every movement that we saw the aircraft make, we were watching the yoke match it. All right, so here's a drop. This should be cool. You got your tanks gauge there. Whoa, what's happening right there? What is with the slip? Whoa, what are you doing? No. I mean, maybe, but I don't think they fly quite that aggressive. Holy crap, maybe. And we've seen a DC-10 do some pretty crazy crap, but... So that's interesting. So let's back up for a second here on that. So the flames look really dope. The fire itself looks really cool. But again, like, I'm hoping we can get rid of things like this. What I really would have thought would be cool, and I know not all these planes, not every condition has one. Usually they're only used for the big ones. I hope you can turn on like a chase plane. I think a chase plane would be pretty cool. Again, back with the points and the blue markers and I don't know what was happening with the aircraft here as they got close to the flames. I mean, it should get pretty bumpy. It should get really violent as you get flying into that. It should get really rough. But this behavior just looks really odd. I will say that. So I'm kind of curious how that's all going to play out in the real thing. I hope. The flight models are concerning already. And it's just because of the footage that we have available, right? Again, I could be completely off. I'm going to keep stressing that. This is a first reactions video. Sort of get an idea. What do we got next? Oh, hey, scenery changes. I think we're in the Grand Canyon. Yeah. So, why are we using that helicopter? That helicopter is a crop duster. That's what those two rods sticking out the side of it are. That's where it sprays out the pesticides and whatnot. Anyway, I mean, to each their own. The scenery is phenomenal. I will say that. The lighting is a little over dramatized in some points, it looks like. So like if we look up in here, and keep in mind, guys, I live in Arizona. Okay, so I mean, I live in the desert. I see the lighting at its worst, its best. This is still a massive, and I don't want to take away from this at all. This is a massive improvement from what we see in 2020 as far as, even the Grand Canyon, for example. As we were talking about earlier, down the cities, you could identify the actual shapes of the houses. You didn't have those weird garbled geometric shapes that were supposed to be representing trees or houses. Like they actually look like houses. The roads were roads. Like, I do not want to take away from that at all. It is phenomenally gorgeous and it is phenomenally accurate. I'm really blown away by that. I'm super excited for that. And this is another example of that. So the lighting looks a little odd here. I can't quite put my finger on what it is that I'm not liking, but there's certain parts that look odd. At the same token, again, being satellite generated images that are then turned around and refined to a high 3D detailed environment. That's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive. So I'm really excited for the scenery. I'm not going to take that away. I'm super excited for the scenery. I'm super excited for the new lighting effects. I know the Aurora Borealis, which we'll take a look at in the next video, is also in here now. So that's going to be a fun one. But the problem with things like the Aurora is those are going to be short-term entertainment, right? You're going to see it once, twice, maybe 5 times, and then it's like, all right, cool, that's in the simulator. It's still always going to come back to the way it flies. Now, if you look at the water, though, and what the water is doing because of the rotor wash, that's pretty cool, and I think that's what they're trying to show here. Oh! I'm guessing they're flying with an Xbox controller is what was happening there. I'm guessing we're flying with an Xbox controller. So I'm super excited for a lot of this. And here's another example of the houses that we were talking about. I wanted to bounce back over here for a second. This looks significantly better than what we are used to seeing right now when it comes to buildings in the surrounding areas of the airport. Even back down in here, again, the trees, you can still see some of that odd geometric shapes that we were talking about a minute ago. There's a few of them down in there. But as a whole, as a global environment, it is significantly better than what it was. And again, everything down from the roads. There's some really good changes that I'm really excited about. I'm excited about the career mode because it gives you purpose to fly. I'm excited about the scenery changes because obviously the more realistic the environment looks, again, that increased immersion. The only things that are really concerning me right now is in the aircraft they have shown, there didn't seem to be any kind of indication of turbulence, wind shear, wind direction, wind impact, variable control or varying control impacting events. Again, all the above listed. So I'm a little concerned about that because if that's the case, then yes, I will agree. We've sort of taken a step back into game mode, right? All of the aircraft seems like nothing would change the way they were flying, and that bothered me in the video. Again, like I said, as we got close to that fire, I wish they had stayed in the cockpit, honestly, because I would have liked to have seen if the flames and the heat from those flames had done anything to the aircraft itself. Because again, as you get close to a fire like that, and with the heat and the wind that's generated, the smoke, I mean, the heat, there's just the heat that comes off of those fires. They can take a plane, rip you, fold you, throw you over. I mean, it's a very violent process. So I mean, the guys who fly into that, they got you know what. So I'm kind of hoping that this is just because it's a showcase thing and they wanted everything to look nice and smooth and pretty. But I'm really hoping that you can turn the points of interest off, turn the little click points off. I'm hoping that all of that stuff that we saw is customizable and that we can set it up to a very realistic situation. Again, the other concern there is third-party developers. You know, what are they going to have to go through in order to take advantage of that walk-around situation? I know that everybody keeps saying that all of the aircraft should be, you know, compatible, that 99% of your add-ons, 95%, whatever it is, should be compatible with 2024. I work in IT and I see what simple software changes does versus even large software changes does. So when you're talking about an entirely new environment and platform, it's going to be a mess for a while. I'm under no delusion of that. You know, 2024 is not going to come out and we're all going to be like, yay, happy. It's going to be just like 2020, you guys. It's going to come out and we're going to all get excited. We're going to download, for those of us who are going to do it, we're going to download day one purchases. We're going to have problems, okay? Especially when it comes time to put our old add-ons in and migrate things from 2020 over to 24. It's going to be a nightmare for a while, you know, and that's why 2020 will still remain installed for me for quite a while. We'll be keeping the content going, but you know, I mean, 2024, it offers a great platform to build something even more amazing. The other thing that I didn't like all the ATC traffic. I don't know if you guys caught it when they were flying through the Grand Canyon. You could hear ATC going off, talking about Southwest something. It might have been on different footage that I saw. But there was like out in the middle of nowhere, and you could hear them talking to, you know, Southwest flight, blah, blah, you know, climb and maintain flight level 380. It seems like they're just throwing random ATC traffic in there, and I didn't really like that. Like, you know, someone who's flying GA out by the Grand Canyon, it probably isn't going to be monitoring a station that's controlling Southwest, you know, up at 38,000 feet. You know, like, why would they? That'd be a center control at that point, and that wouldn't be, I don't know, I don't feel like GA would be, you know, being involved in that. But anyways, guys, let me know what your thoughts are on this part one video. Again, there's going to be two parts. We'll have the next one out probably tomorrow or the day after I get a chance to get that together. Got some other content coming. The PMDG 777 guide is about to release here on Patreon. I'm finally almost done with it. Got it just about ironed out. Done 2 successful flights with it so far, but I keep finding little things that I need to adjust, especially in the flows of the overhead panel. But we are getting there. I keep looking at my hands. Sorry, guys. Got something on my hands itching. Anyway, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, stay safe and healthy. I'll see you in the next one.